if you look through my Git repositories and through my MWD repository in particular, you will find in the atomic.scm file, you will find a definition of rules. And these are for atomic CSS. So that's why it's called atomic. And these rules define, well, okay, what do we want to match and what do we want to replace it with? And so this might seem a bit cryptic, but if we scroll down, we see, for example, justify center. We want to generate the CSS justify content center. All right, so this is just a shorthand for this. All right, so this is the class name and this is the corresponding CSS. All right, and these are a bit more complicated with like matchers and whatnot and variables and okay. So, but it doesn't really matter in this video. So what I rather want to like kind of show you is, so this is very ugly because I define all these rules in two places. So we define the rules here, but we also define them down there. And I have this comment here that I couldn't get this to work with using the rules variable inside this macro because this mmcon2 is a macro and it takes a list of rules and I couldn't get it to work with just specifying the rules within this macro or passing them as a variable and stuff like that. So I just redefine them all explicitly here. So every time I want to add a rule, I have to add it in two places and in two places. And it has been like not once and not twice, but like a lot of times that I've added, that I wanted to add something because I was working on something and I realized, oh, I'm missing this and that. And I only added it in like rules or only in this matcher thing and not in the other. And it didn't work. And I was like, wait, why doesn't this work? Like, it should work. And I kind of got sick of it. So I decided to, okay, I'm just going to fix it. So, and what I kind of thought about is, and I have this REPL up on the right here, is I would just, and this is kind of really like redlining, I would say, I would just read in the file. So I thought, okay, I will have it here for the macro because, yeah, I kind of couldn't get it to work without explicitly defining all of these here. But what I will do is I will remove this, this rules thing. So I will remove this and replace it with some code. And the code I so far came up with, and I've done this in like the last 5 minutes, is this one right here. But let's go through it like one by one. All right, so let's do this. So what I first want to do is, okay, I want to read in this file. And again, this is really kind of, but stay with me. So this is the file, atomic.scm, and I want to read it in. So with input from file, we read. And this will read it as, so this would not read the string, but it will rather just read like the actual like contents. Okay, so let's just run this. Oh yeah, let's just run this, and it will spit out the contents of the file, printed like pretty printed. Because I think if I go down here, yeah. So for example, what it doesn't print out is this long example comment. It also doesn't respect like this empty line and that I have the last bracket on a new space. So this bracket is, or this parentheses is this right here. So, all right, I don't know what this is there, by the way. All right, so this is the first thing. All right, so what we next want to do is we want to filter this because we don't need all this. So what we want to do is call filter. Then we will pass a lambda with a argument, and we want to check if this argument is first up a list, because we want to. So what I want to do is I kind of want to find this matcher thing. Where's it? Matcher. Here it is. So I want to find this as expression. So what I will do is I will first check for a list. And then we can simply check if the second well, let's just do it like, yeah, let's do it like this. So we check if the first argument is define, and we could check for length, I guess, but I will do it like that. Okay, so the first element in this list, so in this list right here, is define. And the second argument should be matcher. And then we should only have one match. CADR. Oh, yeah. So, and there it is. So it's this one right here. All right, and then we only need to take the first element, and we are already kind of done. So let's do that as well. So we take the first element, and that's it. And what we now still want to do is we don't care about like this. We don't really care about all that. We only care about these rules. So what I will do is, let me think. So first, second, third. Let's just, alright, let's just do like that. First, then we need to do the like this. And then, I mean, this is really ugly, but you know how it is. And then we do, what does this give us? So this gives us, yeah, and then we need to do the second, yes, okay. So this was correct. Yeah, whoops. Alright, so now we have all the rules. If I can go up here, yeah. So here's the start, we have all the rules, okay, great. And now all we need to do is insert this code into our thing. So we have rules right here, and we can insert it here, I guess, I hope. And again, so this is really ugly. So if you write code yourself, don't do this, I guess. And I hope this will work. So if I now pull up a shell and do a chicken install s sudo equals to s, I don't know why I don't just define this variable somewhere, this environmental variable somewhere. I'm just kind of too lazy for that, I guess. Or too, yeah, I don't know. Alright, so this will take a bunch of time because it has to go through all of these rules and kind of convert them into macro. Yeah, but I think it's better this way because the runtime is okay, I think. So the compile time, it takes forever, but when it runs, it's okay. So I mean, all of this is not the most efficient. Like I have not written this to be like, I mean, it's Scheme, and it's kind of ugly Scheme. So I mean, this is not like some C or some, I don't know, Rust or whatever. But I think it's fine. Like for my use cases, it's very much fine. Like the generation of the atomic CSS is not the bottleneck I found in my projects. All right, so I will just skip forward when this is done. Oh shit. Alright, so it's done, and I tried to compile my website with it, and it didn't work. Notice I tried directory atomic.scm. So I don't know why I didn't think about this, but of course these, like, if you define something in a module, it doesn't get, like, it doesn't run the code immediately, obviously. I think I thought it would. So I will think about how to fix this. Alright, so I copied the contents of my website and regenerated it with the new library, and I think it worked. I hope so. So what I will try is I will pull up the Schemer plugin. Yeah, and then I'll import mvd atomic. Yeah. Alright, and now if I now call rules, it call rules, it will output the rules. So I think it worked. Even though we don't have rules inside this file. Or we don't have defined them right here. So how to fix this is, oh god, this is so ugly. But I created a macro, get rules. And in this macro, I simply define all that which I've written in a REPL, and define it as a variable, and then I call this variable and just call list on it. So yeah, this is really ugly. And well, no, I think this is even wrong. Yeah, so this is wrong. It should be, well, I mean, let's just, I don't know, make this even uglier, I guess. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. I think this is ugly. Like, this is like beyond redemption anyways. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I think this is, or is it? I think so, because actually, like, matcher, like, these are in two lists, so that's what's bothering me. But it worked anyways. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. But it should work. So if we now add a new rule, let's just add something. And it should generate, I don't know, color, no, color dark red. If I can type dark red, I don't know. Let's just do it like that. And if we now regenerate, like if we now compile it again, because yeah, so these changes are not in there now. But I think it worked. Yeah, and this is just taking forever. Yeah, okay. So if we now import that again, it will not do anything. Let's pull up a REPL here, import MWD atomic, and now we call rules, and now it's only in one list. So no two lists. And if we now call, yeah, let's just recompile this again. And I mean, what, like, rules, what is that even used for? Oh, let's see. So where do we need rules? Rules grep, I guess? Yeah. Generate grep regex from rules. So rules grep. Yeah, so this is looking pretty good. So this is the actual, like, regular expression which it will generate and which it will grep for in files, to know which rules to generate and which ones to, well, not generate. So yes, I think this is looking pretty good. And now we can again only add our rules in one place, and that is in this matcher definition. So in this macro call of mmcon2. And again, this is kind of, I mean, this is of course pretty ugly, but again, I couldn't get it to work with just defining, like, rules inside here, like, as a variable, because apparently when compiling macros, you don't have access to the local, like, to what is it, to, like, the module you're working in. And I tried it by specifying the module and all that, but I don't know. I couldn't really get it to work. Maybe I should specify the rules in a separate module and then import that. Maybe that could work, because I import the chicken regex module here. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should try that out. Maybe I could then avoid this super ugly hack. But I mean, I think it's fine if it works. Like, if it works, it's fine. All right, so yeah, so let's try this again. Import MWD atomic, and then we call rules, and now there is this add something rule at the start. Nice. And if we now call, what was it, rules grep? No, grep rules? Yeah, rules grep. we have that here also. And in the like regex, I add like a bunch of stuff in front of you. So for every rule can also start with like hover, XL, MD, so these kind of breakpoint specifiers. Or also some container stuff, like, yeah. So there's a bunch of stuff here. But we just grabbed for add something, which we only added in this matcher definition. Yeah, it's down there. You know what I mean, where I added it. Alright, so, yeah. So this is really ugly, but it works, and it saves me, like, work. Like, it saves me effort. And so I think it's fine. Maybe I will try having the rules in a separate file, like in a separate module. Well, I don't even have to have them in a separate file, do I? I just have to have them in a separate module, I guess. Well, no, separate file, because in the egg file I have to specify the file for the module. And then I would have to specify... Yeah, I guess I will have to specify that atomic depends on like MWD atomic rules or something. Yeah, I will try that out. Maybe that works. And if it does, I will make a follow-up video. And yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to like show you. So I was just working. I just thought I would make that. I would kind of change it like that, because it was really getting on my nerves, to be honest. Having to add rules in 2 places. Yeah, that's just super annoying. And again, it didn't really work with having, like, with specifying the rules variable within the macro, like within the other macro. So I thought I would just do this super ugly hack. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to go through in this video. And yeah, that's it. Have a nice day.